Mambition. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone's enjoyed summer holidays. I know our friends over in the US, they've gone back to school now. I had a couple of someone I'm trying to get some ambition, and she was saying how they've gone back to school, and I'm like, oh, so you guys are at the end of something we're about to see the end of. Funny, isn't it? I think, yeah, sometimes it gives you a bit of perspective, but. Welcome back, guys. It's Tiffany. It's Tiffany, and I hope everyone is, thriving on this summer holidays. I certainly am. I'm trying to hold I do like a balanced approach on it. It's intense, but I also know those my kids will be soon back to school, and then I'll think, oh, the summer holidays. I miss them. I miss them. So it's a weird one being a parent. I think you're almost seeing the end of something, but then in the moment, it's not easy. So yeah, there you go. It's the time warp. So just got to accept it for what it is and sit with it. All right. So for this ambition episode, I was having a think about the 6 experiences from before motherhood that I now recognize to be the foundation of the type of mom that I am today. So I wanted to, share that with you guys, the random things I've done in my life, because I'm a very random individual, and it's something that I've come to accept in myself. The more random, the more fun, I think. Number one experience is solo travel. So I think I've mentioned this today, guys, before, that pre-motherhood, I don't know, well over 10 years ago now, I had a chapter in my life where I thought, yeah, quitting my job sounds like a good idea because I'm not enjoying my job anymore. And I feel like I need some sort of I don't know, I think I needed to not tether myself to a job for a while. So Tiffany, who was always very, I don't know, methodical about jobs and, very much about work, decided to quit a job, and I decided to go backpacking. So I actually went backpacking for 3 months. I traveled around Europe. It was wonderful. And obviously, not knowing motherhood was coming, I'm so glad that I did that because I think it was something that was just at the back of my mind. It wasn't like an urgent goal, but it was there. And I'm so glad I managed to, I think, just scratch that itch, because I think if I went into motherhood and I never did, I might have felt like, oh, I missed the opportunity. So it's so funny how you do certain things, isn't it? So yeah, I went backpacking. I went around Europe. It was just wonderful. I went to Germany, went to Berlin in Germany. I went to Vienna. I was in Rome. I was in Venice. I went to Amsterdam. I went to Croatia. I went to, honestly, I've lots. I think I remember I went to 13 cities in Europe. I believe I went to 13 like different locations. So it was wonderful. I slept in hostels. I started off with one of my friends. She also quit a job at the time. We were both working in recruitment, and then we kind of went apart for a bit while she went to find some of her other friends who live in Europe. So I was alone myself quite a bit, which was wonderful for me. I think it's something I'll talk about later, that solitude, that time by yourself. But I'm so glad I had this, because it was just a time to, like, not work, just look around and, I don't know, let your mind wander. It makes me think about that quote: Not all those who wander are lost." And I think, yeah, sometimes in life, that wandering is it's useful, even though it feels like you're not doing something productive, but it's as productive as you can be, I think. So that was amazing. I think I look at motherhood now, and I think it's given me, that chapter gave me a lot of confidence. I think, like, to just able to do things, just go off and do things. Like right now, I always I like taking the kids away. Often, obviously, I take my mother-in-law, because it's good to have someone else there as well to support. But I would happily take the kids by myself. And I think being able to just do things with the kids, without overthinking or over planning, that sort of, as random as I can be with children, I think that's useful for me. I like that I can just go off and do things with them. I take the kids everywhere. I don't overthink it. I can do things myself with them. I don't need other people to come along. That's quite a nice thing to have as a mum, because it means that my kids get really cool experiences, because we just go. We just leave our house. We don't often overthink what we're going. We just go somewhere and meet people, and we don't care where we are. We just have a good time. That's really nice, and I think it really broadens their experiences as well. Yeah, there you go. So number two thing I did was quitting my job, as I mentioned, and navigating like a career pivot. So again, off the back of backpacking, I came back. Obviously, I quit my job at that time. I didn't have another job to go to. That was very unlike me. I usually would like line something up, and I remember I was getting quite a lot of interest in the market. So I had, really good recruitment experiences. But I think I just wanted to kind of like, I don't know, maybe go off piste for a while. So I started a business. To be honest, guys, I always say this, I didn't quite know what I was doing at the time. I thought I could replicate what I did within a company and just do it for myself, but it never is like that. I was quite young and I don't know, but I was disciplined enough to make it work. I made it work eventually, but it was hard. But I'm glad I did that because I think it taught me, um, I don't know, like being on your own, having to build something. It taught me that it allowed me to see how hard it is, but also to know that that hard is, it's not impossible. It's just hard, and you learn certain lessons about what makes a business work. And now I see businesses differently. I see entrepreneurship as differently. I don't see it as this like wistful, I'm gonna go off and start my own business. It's much more than that. You've got to be willing to wear different hats. You've got to be willing to like, build a team because you can't do it by yourself. By the time I thought I could do it by myself. So I'm glad I kind of saw the inside of it in a kind of a messy um a messy, not well designed way, because it really blew it open for me, and it really shattered a lot of my kind of myths about business. And now I'm like, I get it now, and I'm like, even though I don't necessarily like run a business now, I can see what it takes to make a business successful. So it's not something I would just do like for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Like I think I appreciate entrepreneurship and I think it's an incredible thing to do, but I think you've got to kind of go at it the right way, which is why in this chapter of my life, I'm not trying to run a business. And even though I feel like I'm very, very like entrepreneurial type of person, I actually like working with other people and building something with them. I like this. I think I'm in a chapter of like, I want to build things with other people because I see the value of teams. I see the value of, like strength in numbers, the right type of people, obviously. So yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm at that stage where um, I think quit my job and navigating that sort of my own business journey taught me that. And now that, as I mentioned to you guys, I'm not working with my husband's company. I still have my other recruitment job. So I'm kind of working like two roles, but I like to see what my husband's building. It's really interesting. And it's got about, I think it's now about six of us in the company. And I can see how different people bring different things to the company. And there's only so far you can go by yourself. But yeah, I definitely see business differently. But that was a great experience for me. It laid the foundations. If I didn't run my own business, I wouldn't be this person who kind of gets it. And also, the fact that I quit my job and started a business, and then a few years later from that, I discovered eBay, like selling, and I did really well with that. So I actually ended up selling women's clothing for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Like it was incredible. I did really well with that, made lots of money. So I think, I kind of learned different things about myself. But I think ultimately I learned like independence. I learned to like be responsible for my own career. Like no one's coming to like shape your career and make it wonderful. You make it amazing. I think that's something that I know now. So as I see my children grow up and hopefully make those decisions, hopefully they can, I don't know, listen to my advice on it, because I see in so many ways now. And what I'm seeing now from a career perspective, I think it's really useful. So yeah, I'm glad I did that, and I learned the hard way very early on. Yeah. So number three, solitude. Oh, solitude. It's one of my favorite ones, guys. I definitely used to be a bit of a loner. I probably am a bit of a loner now, but I call myself a sociable loner. Yes, a sociable loner. I spent a lot of time on my own in the past. I did, yeah. Sadly, it started off initially as a bit of definitely loneliness. Come on, loneliness. I think growing up, losing your mom, kind of having a family that felt kind of fractured. I had this mentality of, I'm like me against the world. No one's coming to save me, and it was a bit dark at times, like a bit toxic. But I needed that as a form of a strength in me. Like, okay, I'm gonna be by myself. If no one gets to know me too much, then no one can like expose me, or no one can like make me depend on them, and I won't miss them if I'm my own person. So I carried it as a strength, but it was definitely a lot of loneliness, and I was very lonely. But um, I don't know. It was quite a sad time for me. I think I just carried so much from my childhood. Like learning to know myself and be comfortable with who I am. And I was like, I felt like I couldn't. allow others in or to let them know the real me. So I was like playing all these roles. It's just a lot of work. I was a bit self conscious as well. So yeah, I think when you carry all those things, it can push you into like a dark space mentally. But hopefully, it kind of then became um, like more solitude, where I genuinely started to enjoy my own company, and I genuinely was able to like not feel like I needed to be around people that I didn't want to be around or couldn't be bothered with. So that was quite good for me. And I went to this space of like genuinely being happy on my own. Like I could just be on my own and be entertained and be happy. I could write, I could reflect. I used to read a lot. So yeah, I think it's a superpower to be able to just be by yourself and do things. Like even like when I travel now, if I'm even solo travel, I can make friends and I can leave them and go off and do my own thing. I don't need people to shape my experiences in life. And I think that's a good thing, because I think as you, especially when you become a mum, um, it comes with a lot of loneliness, I think, because your friendships change. Your children are now your priority. It's hard to maintain your friendships. And then there are times when now the kids getting older and they're spending more time maybe like with their grandparents, and they genuinely love it. I can't wrap my identity around them. I can't be afraid to be on my own. And now when I'm alone, I see it as a privilege. I know that they're also building their own independence. So I'm not going to stop them by feeling like I need to be with them all the time. And also, like I said, even when I think about, something I've touched on briefly, like the separation I had from my husband, that was hard because suddenly I was having the kids less than I was used to. That was interesting for me. Almost like I saw something I can't unsee. Like when the children are away from you, they're with the other parent, they're happy. You can't you can't get involved, and now you have to let them go, like, and then looking at yourself and thinking, who am I? But because I had that foundation of enjoying my own company, it wasn't too bad. I was sad, I was depressed, but I don't know, it wasn't like the worst thing. I could find things to do. I built my own independence. I was able to be independent, and even now that we're working on our relationship, we're back together. I appreciate that time for myself. I don't see it as a bad thing, like, and I'm glad of how I navigated it. I didn't feel the need to run out and go and like, do things that could have been destructive because I was sad and grieving. So I don't know, it's interesting, but I think I was so glad I had that solitude, right frame of solitude to go back to. It actually really helped me. I was able to sit by myself and be sad, but be alone and be okay. If that makes sense. I was able to like watch. I used to watch a lot of comedy. I used to hang around the house a bit to be a tidying up, but there was a lot of therapy I was going through at that time. But just having that foundation of solitude really helped me, to not like necessarily pick up like destructive behaviors, and feeling lonely and desperate to like fix it. Just be able to sit with it and be sad and be okay. But so glad I have that, and yeah, that really helped me. I think I'm on number 4 now. I'm losing track, but yes, number 4. Losing my mum at the age of 9. Now, this is something I obviously, mentioned several times. I'm sorry if you guys think you've heard it enough, but it's such a big part of my life. It's such a big part of how I mother. That loss, that early loss. And it's funny how loss sort of evolves over time, because interesting enough, at some point in my life, maybe in my teenage years, I thought I was over losing my mum. Like, it was like, yeah, I lost my mum, but when I tell people, they say, "Oh, you lost your mum." I said, "I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's life, and it's been a while." I never knew it would evolve into this stage of motherhood, and like thinking about my mom, thinking about me being a mom. Oh my gosh, she was a mom who lost, who died. What was it like for her, leaving her children? Like, it's just really weird. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got my own kids. What a privilege to be alive. I need to be intentional with this. I feel the burden of like how urgent time is, how important it is. But also, I'm learning to balance that and relax, for example, and not like kill myself trying to be everything, make the children perfect, make my time with them perfect. So it's a weird one where you've got to kind of like, you put your foot on the gas because you're shaped by the loss. Time is of the essence. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. But at the same time, you have to accept that you can't control everything. You have to accept that, you know, um, you can enjoy yourself. Like, if I'm not mothering and I'm not working, it's okay to rest. um yeah, you've got to balance your urgency of time so it doesn't destroy you, right? It doesn't, but it's an interesting one. It's weird for me because even my ambition, like, I'll give you guys an idea. Today's Thursday, my ambition is supposed to be out this Saturday, but I can't. And I've been so busy with work and obviously the kids and some holidays, but I was like, I have to do this. So there's this kind of weird discipline, but that's that's a plus side of that loss. But the downside is obviously I've got to be careful I don't overwork myself. So yeah, I think that loss holds me accountable, but it's also I've got to watch it so that I can relax. I was saying that recently we went on holiday, the all inclusive holiday we went to, and for once in my life, I was for a long time anyway, I was able to read a novel and relax. And I, normally I'm the sort of person that even on holiday I will work a little bit just because of my job. My job is fluid, and I think because it's fluid, it means that you never stop working, even like you just work around the kids. So, but this holiday I was like, no, just enjoy the time with the children. It's an all inclusive holiday where there's entertainment for everyone. Make the most of that. And moments when I almost wanted to feel guilty for not optimizing the time. I was like, joy is optimizing the time. I'm sorry, I'm writing that down because I like that. Joy is optimizing the time. You can optimize time with joy and memories with your kids, because you don't get that back when they're little, when they want to play with you and they love your foolishness. Like the other night when we were like playing with them and we played this game called Goon, and we run around the house and they look for us and they find us and they lose their mind. And you think that's not going to last forever. So it's balancing that, but again, against my own ambition as well. So guys, listen, it's a whole mess in there, but this is why I do my ambition, because I feel like I need my ambition. It's actually, even if no one's listening, which is probably for the best actually, because then you won't know how messed up I am. But yeah, I think I need my ambition as a place to reflect and a place to speak about these things that I want to talk about. I don't always want to share my innermost thoughts on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn gets maybe like sometimes a sterile, nicer version, but here I can really go into detail. And I like that. I don't know. I feel like I was born to do this. So this is why I'm here. And yeah, I'm oversharing with you guys. So thanks for listening to my oversharing. But yeah, I think, yeah, this is my mum is always, yeah, kind of creates that urgency about time and doing things and not wasting it. But in the balance of it, I certainly appreciate the discipline and I don't know, the discipline and grit has given me. And I wish I could learn that a different way. But I suppose this is my cup to bear. So yeah, I've accepted it, and it's good. It's good for me, I suppose. Yeah. Right. I think we're number 5 now, guys. Yes, we are number 5. Let me take a huge gulp of coffee. And my chipped mug, which let me show you guys actually. It says Black Girl Magic. I love things with quotes in them. My husband mocks me and says, "You'll live, love, and laugh," but that's just me or whatever. So I saw it in TK Maxx, which again I love. So I was like, yeah, we need some of that. Some of that, royalty. But anyway, it's chipped. I'm like, sometimes imperfect things are the best. I love this mug so much. I don't care how chipped it is. I just love it, and I just think it doesn't need to be perfect to be my favorite mug. But anyway, so number 5, my money approach, my money mindset. Just been a little bit. I'm quite a frugal person. That came from early years with my dad, and I don't know why. My dad was quite frugal. But it's funny because 2 of my siblings are frugal and the other 2 are not. So it's interesting how like children choose whichever side of the coin they want to be on. But it is funny. But anyway, me and my sister were really good with money. And my other siblings are just like, yeah, yeah, live for today. Blow it. Woo-hoo, live well. Anyway, so yeah, I think kind of early on, kind of seeing money differently in terms of like, I can manage money, I can save it, and I can then use it for things that are important and are the things that I really want. Has been incredible for me just over the years, making good decisions, not feeling the pressure to like, I don't know, show off or I don't know, be anything than what I am has been good. Because I remember even very early in my recruitment role when I was, earning quite good commission. I used to save my money. And again, that's what allowed me to be able to quit my job because I had money saved. So many of my colleagues wanted to do the same, but they didn't have anything saved because they couldn't. So I've seen very early on how money could give you freedom. Money could open up your options, and that's something I can't unsee. So, over the years, I've had to make some difficult decisions of like, maybe I won't go and do that and go over there and spend, I don't know, £15 on cocktails, which you do quite easily in London. And then having money in my bank to be able to then say, I don't know, over the years, like, oh, at one point I liked designer bags, pre kids, when you could actually carry a nice bag. Shout out to pre mom Tiffany who had nice bags. So I remember at one point I bought myself a Chanel bag. I've got Chanel, nice Chanel bag. Um, and then I bought a Louis I bought two Louis Vuitton bags. And then I bought myself a Prada bag. But again, I was frugal when I was making these decisions, guys. But number one, I got them pre-loved. You've got to. I believe buying designer bags like pre-loved because you can get some incredible deals. Companies like brand new, because at one point someone will be desperate to get rid of those bags, and they'll be in great condition. If you can get it authenticated, like that's what I did, and I still have those bags, even though I don't use them because it's like life's different. Um, but the bottom line is, when I realized for me, frugality is about buying the things I really wanted. Like at some point, I really wanted a Louis Vuitton bag, so I bought it. And Chanel brooch. There was a point where I was just so fascinated by Chanel brooch. I'd be on the train, I'd see a woman with a Chanel brooch, and I think I really like this. So when I bought myself two, I think I have two or three Chanel brooch, but it's it's something I really like really, really like. Not just like, but like, I really like a Chanel brush. I think it's classy. I don't really use it, but I like it. And I hope to one day, as I get older, wear it and just like go out and just like, my Chanel brush. I just love them so much. So, yeah, I think frugality for me is like spending money on things that you really, 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 really like, rather than in the moment just like buying things that you probably just don't care about. Like, I've already told you guys before, I don't care about nice coffee. Coffee for me is just, it's for the caffeine. I want to drink it. I want to be I don't know, caffeine stimulated and move on my day. So I drink Aldi coffee, and like, I don't care. Like, I don't taste the difference. I can't taste the difference between that and, I don't know, Nescafe or something. So yeah. And then on a day-to-day basis, I will make lunch for my children. We'll go out. But if we're going to like a museum or zoo, I would pay the money for the entry. I'll pay anything to take them to those places, but then I'll pack a lunch. I'll bring my own water. So yeah, I think for me, money, understanding what really means I'm living a good life, has been really good foundation. Because then I go into motherhood with like, not trying to prove a point, not trying to prove that we have more toys than anyone else, not trying to prove my kids have better clothes than anyone else. Like, their clothes are like standard. A lot of it I've shopped in Zara sale for them. Like, I only shop in sales as well for clothes for my kids. They don't need to wear designer things. They don't need to look like fancy. They just need to look nice and presentable, and that's a good standard. So yeah, I think, and then we have a savings account for them. So yeah, I'm just trying to say that the way I've built, the way I see money early on, means that I go into motherhood not trying to like prove anything about how much money we have or don't have. And that's been good for me, because then it means that I can do things like, for example, when I go traveling with my kids, I love doing that. I will spend anything to go traveling. I don't care about certain things. So I think once you know your priorities early on, it really means that you can, I don't know, enjoy this journey a bit more and not compare yourself to other people who are maybe wearing designer clothes or driving really fancy cars with their kids. But hey, that's just my perspective. Yeah, my hopefully, do I see money is not performative. Right, guys, I think I have one more than I. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I think I've given you guys plenty here. I've got career lessons here, but I don't think that's actually the one I wanted to talk about. So let me give you guys an off the cuff one. Six experience for motherhood. I think my final bonus one would be um mm, let me think. I think relationship. I'll definitely have to say relationship. Yeah. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Like, I know a bit of a random one, but I had a bit of a sad, tragic breakup with someone um, before I met my now husband, and then had kids. And that actually, and you know what? That's what's actually quite defining for me. It's so random. I didn't think I'd even talk about that on here, but I talk about it because I think I remember having, this is someone I really cared about, really loved, and I thought we would have a future together. And then having that breakup and going for a very sad, sad time. I think it was good for me now I look back, because I look back and now I realize that, like, I don't know, heartbreaks and loss and sadness is all part of life, and they're not necessarily bad emotions, and it's okay to like sit with them. And even though it's like in that moment you're really hurting and it feels like, it's the end of the world and oh, nothing good's gonna happen after this. It usually does. Yeah, Um, and I look at the life I now have with my husband and the children. It's a wonderful life. Being a mum, I've got an opportunity to be a mum, something I always wanted to have. And I don't know, it kind of makes you realize that sadness has its place. Sadness is useful. I don't know, and heartbreak has its place. But I think when I talk, hopefully, if I, like I said, hopefully kids listen to me and actually care about my opinions. But I know they go through their own version of heartbreaks, and if they can let me in, if they can let me have a glimpse into their pain and sadness, I will tell them that, yeah, it is sad, it's hard, and I will let them sit with that, because I won't tell them it's, oh, get over it or you meet someone else. No, forget that for a moment. Just be sad because you are sad and you've lost something that you really care about and it's important to you. But it will pass. Time is the greatest healer. And I don't say that lightly. Time literally is the greatest healer. And I've seen loss, that sort of heartbreak loss with that, and with my most recent experience as well with my husband. So it is interesting for me. And I'm glad I don't know, in hindsight, I got to see that, because I think it's useful for children, because I know they'll go through so much of that. And I love that I'm able to really give them the raw version of it rather than the sanitized, lovely. And yeah, hopefully I can just hold their hands through it. And if I can do that, it'll be a privilege. So yeah, I think that sense of loss made me realize that there is joy again in life, and if you sit in it enough and move through it enough, as slowly as you need to be, and as sad as you need to be, that there is, with time, with space, with determination to get to the other side, you will, with time. Like, you have no choice. Time will never stop. Time never stops for anyone, for anything, even outside of this it can be. So yeah, I'm glad I have that, and I can give that to my kids. And I don't know, yeah, hopefully be able to encourage them through that as well. So there you go, guys. Sorry about to end that on a sad note, but look, I'm okay. And yeah, that's why I'm such a strange individual today, the most random person you probably ever meet. But I love it. I just love this so much, and I love being able to deep dive into my darkest secrets and overshare. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, being part of my ambition. It's such a joy to show up and talk to you guys about these things. And yeah, I hope you make the most of the summer holidays, or not make the most of it. Do whatever you want, and I don't know, just be gentle with yourself. Because trust me, even if you don't feel like it, you are doing your best. It's been lovely. My ambition. Thank you. And I will see you guys on the next one. But before I go, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you know anyone who will enjoy these conversations and they're like, this person will love this random chat, please share with them. And yeah, come on, connect with us on LinkedIn. We love making new friends, and see you guys very soon.